So that was a weird beginning to the stream, but that's cool. So, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My computer is dying. It's just suffocating in the background here, and I'm pretty sure you guys can hear it. But so, thank you for coming to this stream. Today I'm just going to be building Arcadia. Arcadia. If you don't know what Arcadia is, it's basically my project for a level. This is the first time I'm going to actually build on stream. I haven't really ever done this before, so hopefully you guys do enjoy it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna wait for a little bit for some people to arrive, and we'll get started as soon as my computer decides to chill out. Not sure how bad that is right now, but it does not sound good. So I should probably show you guys Arcadia before we actually get into the stream. So this is kind of what I have so far. It's kind of garbage, to be honest. I mean, I'm gonna work on this part a little bit. I had an idea, but I don't. It's just kind of a pain because I'm not as motivated. I've lost motivation. This happens with every level I ever do. I'll be really motivated, and then after 5 minutes, I'll be unmotivated immediately. But I'm trying to be more persistent right now and trying to push through and keep building until I regain that motivation. So the thing about that is I only build for 30 seconds or even 4 to 5 minutes a day, right? It's I don't build that much. And that's really it's not good for recording, so I decided I'll just do this on stream, and I'll force myself to build for an hour. Or not an hour, it's going to be a short stream because I have no idea how much time I actually have. So let's just start the building process. So I'm trying to focus on a purple sort of color scheme here, but I completely forgot to add hues to this block, so we're just going to quickly come and take a look at that. So I forgot to change the hues on this side. Actually, I think I might leave it like that, and I'll just pretend that's part of this color scheme, because it's going to be a pain to change and edit and everything. I really don't want to do that right now. So let's just start building. So right now I'm doing this part right here. As you can see, it's using the blocks. I don't know what else to really say. So right now these little kind of not corridors, but these little sections right here beside the block look a little empty. So let's go ahead and try to fill those up there, because I don't want the style to be too empty. I want it to look good, but not messy. So I want to make sure everything fits, and I'm thinking I could use this thing kind of. That could be good. Really depends though. I'm trying to think how I would do this, because I don't want to just shove it in here, right? But I also I'm not sure how it would look. I could make it. I'm trying to. This is kind of trying to imagine this and make sure it actually works, and I'm not just spamming objects. I want to make sure that's not what's happening, right? So probably gonna reduce the brightness and then just make a little pattern, because it's really interesting to see how to do this. Let's go ahead and start by doing that, and then if I don't like it, we can change it later on. And feel free to give your suggestions in the chat or stuff, because a lot of you guys are also good creators, so I could probably improve this level a lot with your help. Well, this is kind of hard to focus on, but looks a little uneven right here. No one's gonna notice, it's fine. Let's be honest, like, no one's gonna look here. If I could select it, that would be nice. Okay. That's not good enough for me. I'll just, yeah. I kind of like that actually, and once we add the glow, it'll look a lot better. So one problem with this part, and I'll address this a little bit more if I do a video on this, but is that all these blocks do touch the ground, and I could easily fix this just by having like some kind of design, like kind of in like sedulous at the very beginning. There's those two things, those like kind of big structures that cover the top and bottom of the screen, and Soundify makes them move and stuff, right? I could do that with this part right here because it's so up high, and I could just make those my ground spikes instead of having to like fill in the areas here and then like it'll mess up my solid and stuff. I don't have to worry about that. But I still have to fill in the entire block for this block right here and these two blocks, so this one right here and this one right here, because those are the points where the borders, the stuff on the top and bottom of the screen, they're gonna like fade in and like not fade in and fade out, they're gonna be like moving in and moving out, and during that transition phase it might show like the empty block designs might show, and I don't want that. Like in the past I've just left it like that because I really didn't care that much, I was too lazy, but I'm trying to put more effort into this level, so we're gonna have to decorate this entire thing, and that's not gonna happen for any of these blocks. But we are gonna have to do that right now. So let's go ahead and look at this right here. So I think I can easily. I'm just gonna reuse this design from before because it's not insanely important, but I also want something to be here. So we'll just use this from before. This thing right here. I'm just gonna let it fade into the ground a little bit more. Decrease the brightness, but then give it a bright color. So I want the color to be bright, like a brighter color, but I don't want the object to give a lot of, like, I don't want it to be too, how do I explain this? I want the color to be a light color, but I don't want the object to be too bright, if that makes sense. I'm not sure it does, but it is hard to explain unless, like, you build a lot and you know what I'm talking about, like you've experimented with this. So let's see, so I'm trying to look at some of these designs. I do want to add the hue glow, so just someone remind me if I do forget, please. Probably gonna happen. Let's see, so I've already been consistently adding this little glow thing down the middle, though it was different for these blocks, definitely. So I'm not gonna do that this time, but I already kind of did. But I separated it so that's only in these little like pockets. I don't know. I really don't know what to call them. I'm sorry. Now if you've noticed, I've been adding a lot of these blocks. So these kind of 1.0 blocks, 1.0 slopes, these things. And these have been like very important parts of the design. Like they've been the entire background for this part right here. And they've been very important. So. But I don't want to overuse them, so we're going to change that up right here. We're going to use a different kind of block for texturing this block. So I'm thinking we go ahead and take a look here. I was thinking about using these, and now I know I was thinking about using these earlier as well, but something prevented me from doing so. Like I kind of didn't like how it looked, and I don't remember why. So I'm trying to look into that right now, and that's kind of annoying. That's very annoying, actually. The fact that these have a very bright side right here, but these don't. I'm actually just not even going to use these just because of that one reason. That's actually really annoying. That doesn't look good at all. It doesn't shade the ball properly. I'm going to steer away from the bricks. I don't like the way. Like I've used bricks extensively in the past, and I kind of want to approach a more modern kind of style. No bricks. It's so hard to look for something that's pure, like just texturing. because the only texture blocks besides these, which kind of don't really count, but I might rely on them in the end, are just these slopes and these ones. Those are like the really only texture blocks. These bricks, you can count them, but I don't want to use them. Okay, let's make these work. Let's see, is there one that doesn't have that extremely bright? Okay. Again, I said this is going to get kind of annoying kind of fast, but we can figure it out. So let's see, I'm just first going to focus on colors before filling the entire thing, just so I can have like, that I can test it out and stuff. So again, let's give this a bright color, and if my mouse would stop lagging, that'd be nice. Let's just link that and tone down the brightness by a lot, because I want this to be like a texture. That is the most annoying thing ever. My mouse does this so much, it's so annoying. Okay. So again, I want this to be a texture, not like... Shut up, will you? Let's see, so what layer is this on? This is on T2 minus 7, so this is going to be on like T1. So what are the... Yeah, so that'll work actually. That could be good. That could be good. Stop. So let's grab these and then just viper in and paste it down. Okay. Let's just go ahead and take this all the way down until here. And then we're going to go ahead and adjust the brightness again, because I like the texture it's giving, but I don't like how obvious it is. Like, I want it to be visible, otherwise that's just wasting objects, but I also don't want you to be conscious of it. I just want it to... How do I'm really bad at explaining things. But if that makes sense, right? Like, I don't want you to be aware of it, like, physically conscious. Like, I don't want you to look at it and be like, oh, like, he used those blocks right there. No, but, like, when you play the level, it'll just be there in the background, kind of. So let's just link the entire thing so I don't have to select everything individually ever again. And okay, so that wasn't technically the meat of the design. That was just texturing. That wasn't really the design itself. So we gotta start adding some stuff. Now I did this earlier. I did this on this block right here. I just added these things to the side. So we're gonna do something similar, but I want to use different blocks as well. Because, I did decide to use these. So we'll use some of these breakable blocks, these things. And we'll just kind of do this a little bit. And we'll actually move this down so that it's like variation. There's some variation within the blocks themselves. And then we can go... My mouse, would you like to work, please? We can go ahead and make them white, so we have more, like, if you haven't noticed, the object color is gray, so everything's defaulted to gray, and that just helps with the neon, like, you can actually notice the neon when everything's gray. If it's white and you don't notice the neon, it's not anything special, but having white does actually really make a difference. Okay, so I actually don't like this one right here. I want to make, like, this is going to interfere with the design of the rest of the block. And we don't have to be too thorough, right? Like, no one's going to look too much here, but I do want there to be some design. That could work. So I'm thinking if we make like a mini triple spike, like kind of what I did over here. Where are you? Like these, they're barely noticeable without all the glow on the sides, but like right here, kind of. You see this triple spike thing right there? We'll make something similar to that, but we'll make it like a neon effect, like how I did with this pixel, or why does that happen? Okay. Or this thing, or this thing, all of these things, so many things. I think I even did it with some of the spikes, not gonna lie. But yeah, with all those things, we will do this. So, I'll show you the process. I haven't actually, like, if you're watching the stream, you get, like, special, like, in-depth tutorials, like, more specific ways how to do things and stuff like that, which is, you're lucky. So let's shrink this down, and now we're just gonna make the opacity like, or sorry, not the opacity, the saturation like really low, to make it like 25 or 20. Why does that have to go on 2? It's just like, as you can see, that looks really ugly, and that's understandable. I can see why you'd think that. So we're gonna make this more normal sized. Move it back 1 order so it's actually behind the little object, and then just take this saturation thing out. And we'll also make this little thing. First, we'll have to put it closer to like the center, like that, and then also just make it brighter so that it actually looks brighter. It's not like an artificial brightness; it's like also actual brightness. And then add glow, because this is a glow level. So does anyone actually use those? Like, don't you just like? Because I know those exist and they could save me objects on like glow corners and stuff, but I never actually use these things. They're just so ugly. Like, they don't look good at all. Also, this is the only object that has them, so whatever. And that's not. Wait, no, I just lied to you. Yeah. That's fine. I'm not really, but okay. So I'm getting distracted here. So let's go ahead and make that a bright color. As you can see, that isn't very bright, so we'll give our color 5, and also desaturate this, but not nearly as much. Make it brighter as well. Then we'll just copy and paste this and make it slightly bigger, just so that we do have a slight gradient effect like that. And then we'll just take your favorite glow, the one you guys love to spam. I mean, I'm joking, but like, people do spam this, so but this one, and then we'll just do that. And I'm actually gonna reduce the saturation, or sorry, increase the saturation of that one, so it does look kind of like a gradient within gradients, because glow is just a bright gradient, isn't it? So and then let's not give that color 5, because that is insanely bright. Yeah, that's a lot better. That is so much better. Okay, so let's go ahead and use that. And we can either put this on the side like I did before, or we can do something different. And I want to do it differently, so that it's not like every part in my level looks the same. Because I don't want it to look like that. So we can just put this here, and then resize it so that it fits. But I was thinking it would fit already. Like that, and then just give it, yeah. Now let's go ahead and alter some hues here, because that's going to be helpful. So let's just add some hue, like that. And then go ahead and place this like here. And this could be good air deco as well, I'm not going to lie to you. I think that's actually all I need to do. Like, those are big enough objects that really, especially from like not part of the block that everyone's going to be looking at that much, that is pretty nice. Let's go ahead and start with the glow. So for this section, I'm going to be adding a different kind of glow. Before I just added this glow, I'm going to be adding the fat glow. That's going to be a lighter glow, like not very visible. It'll be more like an atmospheric glow. And then a much more concentrated glow, like these little ones. So for example, we're going to give this color 5, and we're going to adjust the hues, making this like adding color. And we're just going to increase the brightness by a lot, and also decrease the saturation a little bit, but not too much, because this is going to be the main point of focus. And we'll just copy and paste this, decrease the thing, and then just copy the values, just so that we can have that on standby. Once you know that, we'll just go ahead and paste that, and then let's look at this. See, now that looks really good. Now we're just going to increase the full saturation of this, by the way, and then just decrease the brightness. Now when you check mark this basically, instead of using a percentage, so when you have it unchecked, this is basically saying, okay, we're going to do 150% of whatever you had before, and it's going to be like 30%. this is like, okay, we're gonna like add whatever amount you want, and that's like you can make it a lot more bright with like this. But this gives you control over like more minor things, and when you treat a blending object with this, it acts more like an opacity slider. It is not an opacity slider, but it acts more like an opacity slider. We're just gonna keep this at normal, because that is we actually need to make this brighter, because that is actually too dark, and you can really see like the difference there. And I might actually come back and change that anyways, so we're not going to link any of that. Though now that I'm looking at it, I could have linked the different like sizes of gloats. I could have linked the small ones and then linked the big ones, but that's okay. So there, now let's just move everything to the proper layer, because that's not going to show up. T1. There we go. Now we're gonna adjust the hues for that 100%. Like that is gonna be annoying if we don't adjust the hues. Okay. And now that I've been able to do that, I'm just gonna link all these. Okay. Because that is a kind of a drastic change, actually. We should be going for a blue and purple scheme, not a, well, that's not what I did here though. Here I went for a purple and blue scheme. So I think it's only fair that I give a purple and blue scheme, so that the transition looks more, I guess feels more like cohesive with each other. Like the parts, because this part is extremely short. It's not even an entire second long. Like, what the? These should be the exact. What? Did I link something else? Okay. These should be the same. So okay, that's weird. Let's increase the brightness, decrease the saturation, and then mess around with the hues like we were supposed to do in the beginning. Just make it -10. Okay. Cool. And that looks good. And it still has that purple tinge to it because it's desaturated. I was about to link those, but that would be very not efficient. So okay, let's go ahead and do this. I don't like doing block design. It's not like the most fun part. Like in the beginning, when you're starting level, for me it is decently fun to do, just play around with the block design, but I really like doing effects and stuff, like adding, especially drop effects, like adding those kind of bright pulses and all that movement, and then like the things that cover the screen and all that kind of craziness. I like doing that a lot more, but this is also necessary to build up to the drop. And I'm starting to like that. Though I'm gonna go back in here and make these a little darker. Actually, not. Okay, we'll go ahead and make them a little darker, and then I might come back to that later so that I can, like change that up so that it's not quite as dark. Because if I make it too dark, then, and now that I'm looking at it, let's link these, because that might help a lot. You'd think that linking things that take forever to select could help. I didn't know. Let's go ahead and make this not minus 40. Okay. Oh, that is, I actually think that's still too bright. Let's just make that 30%, and then that's a lot better. And we gotta add glow to this top part, add some neon, and then add glow to this part, as well as adding these little pixel things, because those parts are, this entire section, these like little things on the sides are quite dull. I actually have an idea, but I'm not sure if I should implement it or not. I haven't done that for any of the other ones, have I? Yeah, we'll go ahead and do it. Again, every part should be its own part. So let's go ahead and I'll walk you through how to make neon, and since we're doing this with a block, I can just use this normal thing. So first, get your line that'll be the base of your neon. Now choose your color. So for our purposes, we'll choose a very bright color, and then we're going to desaturate this thing a lot. Not too much, but a lot. Make it brighter. That way it will look more like a center and then more like neon. And this is your base for your neon. It's gonna look really ugly, and I don't blame you, because neon is very deceptive until you finished it. I'm gonna take this, make it really small. You can also like just wrap this in the, like normal glow, like how you'd wrap a block in glow. You can also just do that, but for us, we don't have to do that. And then just keep doing this, copy and paste it, and just move it over one of these 16th steps over and over again until you fill like your entire section, like whatever line you have, right? And you have like just one square. This is going to be a little bit weird. It's going to look a little bit awkward because like on the side that you end, the glow is going to stick out a little bit. So it's not going to stick out a little bit. It's just not going to quite make it to the end. And then if you add one more, it's going to stick out a lot. So just note that it's not going to be perfect. And sometimes it's a lot better to just wrap it in like the square glow kind of. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't want to do it like that because this seems like a lot easier because you're only using it with like one object. Okay. And you don't have to make this like anything. I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to make it slightly brighter, ever so slightly brighter, just so that it does look like neon. And then we're just going to take this thing, not link it, and put it on T1, and just let that do the work. Then we're going to figure out why that isn't working, because this is all in T1. And that's actually, no, I shouldn't move that. I shouldn't be moving that back. I should be moving this up, actually, T2, I'm pretty sure. There we go. And now let's add some outer glow. Actually, we have to add the normal glow. And this is kind of why I've been splitting everything in the middle, because when I add hues, it makes everything a little bit different, because now I have to like mix two opposite hues, which is kind of weird. We can do that, and then we can just do that. I want to make sure this isn't too much glow because it looks like it might be. Might tone down the ones on the side, not gonna lie. But for the rest of these blocks, it's gonna be a lot more solid design itself, not like so much of this stuff. And yeah, let's tone down the glow on the sides. It's looking quite bright. As you can see, this is kind of one. It's not the main reason why, but it definitely contributes to the reason why like I get really worn out with building really quickly. Like it definitely takes like a toll to do, but it's really fun. And block designs take forever, right? And it's like you don't see, like when you add like a background or you add like an effect or something, right? You don't like, you see like how much the level has changed, right? Like when you just spend minor things perfecting every block, right? It doesn't look as big of a difference because you still just have like a bunch of empty space, right? And that's different from modernistic creators. But yeah. So let's just go ahead and finish this block, and I don't know how long I've been going for. I've been going for like 28 minutes. That is depressing. I've been spent that long on this one block, though it's not unusual, but. Okay, so now let's add outer glow. So first we're going to go ahead and move to the right layer. We're on the wrong layer, right? Because I'm using a different layering system than what I usually do, so I mess up sometimes. We're going to go ahead and give this our bright color. Make it decently bright. And then desaturate it. But I don't want this to be too bright. I want it to be like an added effect, not the star of the show. So we're not going to use the big glow even. We're just going to go ahead and grab these things and then just give them a color and link them like these. Link this whole thing, because why not? That is, oh, that's at 40 objects. I was like, what? And there we go. That is decent, actually. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to be lazy and copy and paste this, unlink everything, delete the things in the middle, Okay, this is gonna be kind of weird to do. How do I approach this? So these are gonna go, then these are gonna go, and these are gonna go. I guess that's how we're gonna have to do it for now. Then I'm just gonna copy paste these twice once I get them in place for the sides, and then we'll finish the sides. We'll just copy and paste this, and then just so we don't have that exact kind of glow that we had at the top, but we still have a nice one. And now we're just gonna add a little bit of stuff here. So this is, I think I explained this in one of my earlier videos. I'm not sure if I explained how whoops, that probably made a lot of noise. So for these ones that are like 3 or less blocks, right, I use this kind of small half glow. If it's anything more than 3, I use this big one. Because this is the one that fits, it seems to fit better, right? And actually I forgot to compensate for hues here, so we're going to go ahead and do that. There we go, seems to have worked. I forgot to put this on T1. Probably could just copy and paste this and see what happens. Yeah, I don't like that. But we're going to add some stuff to there. But I did just realize that okay, so I chose the wrong set. Okay, I'm guessing this one. Are these the same? Yeah, okay. You gotta add 10 to the hue. It's kind of, I don't know why, I think it's gonna be kind of boring to watch, so I'm not sure if I want to do these in the future. We're just gonna be doing one block for today. And these might get more interesting when I decide that I'm done with my block design and we can start doing effects. But I'll see about that. Why doesn't anything seem to fit? Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and subtract the hue here. I honestly don't care if it's 11, to be honest. Like, really, it's one difference in this hue counter. Like, no one's gonna notice. And it's not like it's not like you notice the hue change anyways. It's just like when it's not there for some reason you notice it. So I might as well add it. Okay. That is doing a lot better already. Let's go ahead and fix up these little things on the sides. So for these, we're going to be creating one of the little glow pillars, these things. So the way I built these is I have them overlap ever so slightly, very slightly, and then I just build the length required for that. Okay, good. I had to check if I had the proper groups for what I'm about to do. So once you've done that, you just give them the proper layer, the proper color, and you make it quite bright. Right, once you've done that, you give it an opacity. So we're going to give ours 40 opacity. Let's give it 60 opacity. Let's give it 70 opacity. And you can just keep playing around with it until you're satisfied with what you have. You think that is good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And this the other direction. And then I'll be done for today after this. And this is just a test to see if you guys actually want to watch this. Like, if this is not entertaining, you just tell me. But if you guys do like something like this, and I'll make it more entertaining in the future if I decide to do this in the future, because this is a lot easier for me to stream. It's like I don't need to practice at all before hopping in. I can just fire up GD and I'm ready to go with OBS and a thumbnail, which doesn't take too long. So I'm going to be going ahead and adding 3D to this later. I'll add movement to everything afterwards, and I'm probably going to just work on these pillars for a little bit. Let's just look at the level for a minute. Man, this lags on stream, wow. Just go for a run, because why not? I realize I haven't actually shown you guys the entire thing. So I should probably just no-clip the layout or something, I don't know. So yeah, that is Arcadia. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you're watching this afterwards on YouTube, or if you're watching right now live, thank you either way for watching. Please tell me in the chat or in the comments, wherever you are, if you do enjoy this kind of content, and if you think you would enjoy it if I just changed up a few things, like my style of the video, or the stream, sorry, my commentary, or the level I was building. I do have something else I am working on, because I cannot focus on one project at a time. And I just divide my time, which is one of the reasons why I'm not a terrible creator. But yeah, if you did enjoy the video or stream, just drop a like, and I'll see you soon.